and welcome to Meet the Author, a show where we explore the world through the imagination of talented writers. On this show, we will talk with authors from Laurel, Prince George's County, the DMV, and beyond. Hello, and welcome to Meet the Author. Today's guest is an educator born and raised in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. He has written a series of children's books and travels around to schools speaking and sharing with students the importance of writing, entrepreneurship, and success. A local educator, author, and speaker. Let's meet Mr. Antoine Lunsford. Hi, Antoine. Glad you can be here today.
Hey, Christine. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to do a brief interview. Okay?
All right.
All right. So like I mentioned in the beginning, you are an educator. Just tell us how long you've been teaching and what grades you teach.
Well, currently right now I teach a kindergarten and first grade split at the Preparatory School DC, and I'll be actually going into my 9th year. I feel like it's a miracle that I made it 9 years,
right.
But 9 years strong.
Okay, good. And you plan on doing it for a while, or?
Yeah, probably maybe another 10 years or so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
'Cause we need good educators. Just want to keep you in the loop. So, speaking of teaching, what made you get into teaching? What started that love for you?
You know what? I always had good teachers. I can never say I've had any bad teachers from first grade or kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, even through college. I had wonderful professors. And they were so influential in my life because when I needed help, I felt like they were always there. Because, I'm with them, majority of the day. So I was like, you know what? When I got to Bowie State, and I was thinking, like, what can I do? How can I impact lives? I was like, it's going to be the social work route, or it's going to be teaching. I know through teaching, I could be with children every day. So not only am I able to teach you, but I can, influence you, more, on recess or, just whenever I can. So I feel like if I had more time to influence a life, teaching was going to give me the path that I needed to do that.
Okay, that's great. We're glad you're using that path.
Thank
and that's
you.
what we'll talk about a little bit more. So speaking about involving the teachers and the students and influencing lives, so how did that evolve into writing?
Well, I actually been writing my whole life.
Okay.
So as young as I can remember, maybe about until age 6 or so, I started writing. And I realized every day as a teacher, I said, you know what? I'm reading these books every day. And I felt like, kids need even more great quality of literature. So I said, you know what? I think I need to write my own books.
Okay.
And that's really what just prompted it right there. Just I feel like they needed more quality of literature. So I said, if I could do that, I need to do it.
Sounds good. I like the progression in your life. You see where things are needed and you go ahead and jump right in.
I try.
Sounds good. Okay, so a couple other things that you are involved in. Just want to touch on those a little bit.
All right.
So you do have a foundation, the
I do.
Lunsford Williams Foundation.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So I started that about 3 years ago, and it's pretty much, I just thought, how can I, again, impact lives, how can I help out local students and families? So me and a few of my cousins said, you know what? Let's just try to raise some money and give out some scholarships, because I know student loans can be very burdening. And, on parents, it's like, man, how can I afford to pay this, if they're trying to do it out of pocket? So I said, you know what, let me do what I can to raise a little bit of money, just to help a few local families. And when I went to feed the homeless in high school, I realized that just stayed with me, that experience. So I said, you know what? Once I start my own foundation, I can raise more money and give out food boxes, typically during Thanksgiving and Christmas time, to families who live in low-income areas around the District of Columbia area.
That sounds great. Like you said, you see a need and you fill it.
I try.
That's great. So another thing that you are active in, you are founder and CEO of Little Andy's World Publishing Company.
Yes.
So when did that get started? And tell us the type of services you provide through your publishing company.
Well, I actually officially started the business maybe about 2 months ago or so.
Okay, so new.
Yes, because I realized I had all the pieces, the illustrators, the editors, the recording, people, the videographers. I said, you know what, let's put this together and let's help some people who want to turn their dream to writing a book into a reality. So I said, you know what, the time is now, I don't want to wait. So I said, let's just jump into it. So that's what I decided to do.
Okay, and so you provide all those services like you mentioned, video, recording.
Editing, etc. Yes.
Okay. Now, have you had any clients yet? I know you just said 2 months, but.
I have any clients yet, but I'm actually interviewing authors right now who want to be, interviews, who can help them get more exposure, things like that.
Okay. Sounds good. Wish you much success in that.
Thank you.
It seems easy, but, it's a process.
It
As
is.
publishers, we know that it's a process to get that book from a manuscript to a finished product.
A lot of work. It is.
Well, thank you for helping people do that. So a couple other things that we mentioned that you do with your books. You do readings at elementary schools and you speak at middle schools and to high school students. So just talk to us about the different topics that you discuss with them, how you use that platform.
Well, primarily I just speak about the importance of writing, because a lot of teachers say, hey, I want you to come and talk to our students about writing. A lot of the kids have a lot of issues writing, even just with the basics.
Right.
So I tell them about how important writing is, and then about entrepreneurship, like, considering, taking your life into your own hands. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, you have to invest in yourself. Like, yes, your parents love you, you have family and friends who care about you, but no one will care more about your dreams than you. So I say you have to do whatever you can to invest in yourself. So I just go from school to school and, give my spiel about it, and the kids enjoy it. They feel, empowered, they feel motivated. So it's the greatest feeling in the world.
That's good.
It really is.
And then, like I mentioned, so you do elementary, middle, and high, all levels.
Yes,
Okay.
all levels.
Great, because they all need to know, right?
Absolutely.
Like it doesn't
It
stop
doesn't-
at one grade.
And it's fun. And with the younger level kids, elementary school, I always try to read my books as well,
Okay.
because I try to read I make sure my books have morals and values, life lessons they can learn and draw from throughout their adulthood.
Okay.
So that's what I try to do.
So we will touch about your books in a little bit. Now, just for speaking with the different kids, do you have to, or how do you find that you can tailor your message, like to speak to an elementary school and a high school student, maybe a little different? You could have a little more mature audience. How do you tailor that and work around that?
Well, the message for the most part really is the same.
Okay.
But for the older kids, I typically go a little deeper. I try to give them an acronym that I live by. If you want to be successful, you have to create a pact with yourself. PACT. And I heard that from Ken Blanchard. He created that. The P is for perspective, the A is for autonomy, the C is for connectiveness, and the T is for tone. So if you use those 4 words, live by those 4 principles, it'll definitely increase your likelihood of being successful.
Okay,
The kids
sounds great.
really like it.
Good. So I'm going to be looking into that later.
Oh,
Make
absolutely.
sure I use that acronym. Okay. So earlier this year, you were interviewed for Writer's Life magazine.
Yes.
So tell us all about that experience. How was that for you?
Well, I have to give a shout out to Tamiko Hubbard.
Okay.
I saw her, I went on Instagram. She has a company called Sweet Reads in New Jersey. It's a literacy-based nonprofit. And I saw her in the magazine, and I said, sent her a DM. I said, hey, Tamiko, how did you get into the magazine? She said, I actually connected with LaDonna Smith, who is the founder. Here's her email, shoot her email, see if you can connect. And I sent her an email, and we were talking. I was like, I really want to not just get in the magazine, but I want to be on the cover. Like, I just really want to be on the cover. He said, you know what? We can do it. Have some issues available early in 2019. So if you want an opportunity to get on, just let me know. I told her immediately, let's do it. And I wound up being able to grace the cover for Black History Month. So it was a
Sounds good.
wonderful opportunity.
That's great. And like I said, the progression, like I said, I like the progression that you've had in your life from teaching and writing, impacting these students, being on the cover. Like you talk to them about entrepreneurship, but you're actually showing them how
Absolutely.
entrepreneurship works. And I think that's a great example.
Thank you. Because I just want the kids to understand the process is precious. You don't want to skip any steps.
Right.
So if you just take it step by step, you may have some hurdles, a couple curveballs thrown in there, but if you stick with it, you'll see yourself you want to be before you know it.
Right. And that's the goal. Stick with it.
Absolutely.
So now we're going to talk about this wonderful series here. So it is a 5-book series, but we
Correct.
have 3 already done.
Yes.
So what prompted you to do an idea for a series? Because it's hard enough writing one book.
It is. It is.
What made you decide to do a series?
So when I was growing up, I actually watched, my favorite movies is Rocky,
Okay.
the boxer. I was like, man, he always coming out with a different, movie, every few years. I said, you know what, if I'm going to write a children's book, then I need to come out with one, maybe every few months to keep it going, to keep it interesting. So that's why I got the idea of making it into a series, just
Okay.
from my own personal experience.
Okay.
So that's where that came from.
So when I'm going through each book, I like to pick out different things that interest me or that stand out to me. So a couple things that stood out to me in your book, you have an intro or setup in the beginning.
Yes.
And then you have character biographies in the back. So what made you do those 2 things?
Well, I always want my reader to know, kind of get a feeling of who I am. Because I obviously can't meet all my, audience, but I want them to get a gist of the type of person I am. And with the character biographies, I just wanted the kids to be able to see themselves in those characters.
Okay.
Like, wow, this person likes, cheeseburgers, and, so do I. Or this person likes wrestling, or they have a lot of pets, so do I. So I just wanted them to be able to see themselves in the characters.
Okay. That makes it personable for them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, about the book. So, Little Andy, just a quick question. Like you say, it's characters and Little Andy and his friends.
Yes.
So, are they based off of anybody in particular, or are they made up? Or how did you do that?
Well, they're all made up.
Okay.
But Andy is me.
Okay.
And it's funny, a lot of people say, why did you name him Andy? Or why did you name the series Little Andy's World? I have a friend of the family. Her name is Sandy. And when I was younger, she always called me Andy. She never to this day will call me Antoine. If she walks in here right now, she will call me Andy. So I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to name him, Little Andy.
So, Little Andy is based off of you. Very
That's
good.
right.
Okay, so let's get into each of the books. So, we have 5 books, and these are the 3 that have been published.
Correct.
And so, the first one was published in 2017. We have Little Andy, the greatest recess monitor ever. So, let's just a little brief summary and just the lessons that you point out in this book.
Well, with this book, I just wanted to start a trend. So where does most of the action happen in school, at least in my opinion? At recess, right? So I thought about safety patrol monitors, how respected they are, how responsible we are. They lead the kids to the buses, make sure they get on the right buses, and they pull down the flag and put it up every day. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take the safety patrol badge, but it's going to be for a recess monitor. This person is going to be in charge of recess. Anything that happens, of course, they report it to the teacher, but they teach all the kids how to play the games to make sure they're playing safely, excuse me. So I want to make sure, I just wanted to start a trend. Like, if you really want to do something important, be a recess monitor.
Okay.
So that's where I got the idea from.
And the lesson in here was?
Learn how to treat each other. Every book, I have 3 pillars I've created the book series off.
Okay.
Friendship, humility, and respect.
Okay.
Those 3 things I feel like we all as people need to know, not just kids. So I figured for that first book, I wanted to just hit the ground running with learning how to treat each other. That's what makes a huge difference in your everyday life. Your relationships, your friends, neighbors, whoever it may be. If you know how to treat each other, it makes life just a little bit easier, in my personal opinion.
Okay. So that was that one. Then we have, in 2018, you published, Oh No, There's a Bully in Our School.
Correct.
So what's the little summary and lesson in that book?
Well, and this one was, bullying stems from a lot of different reasons. So I want kids to know it's not just physical, but it's just really the emotional damage that it has on us, as children, especially throughout adulthood. So I really wanted the kids to understand, don't look at yourself as a victim, and if there's anything wrong, always let someone know. Whether it's cyberbullying, through any type of social media, outlets, or physical bullying. Let someone know what you're going through. It's happening. It's a huge epidemic around our country. So don't feel like a victim. You have a voice. Let everybody know what's going on with you. And there's always a hidden root, like I said, bullying.
Right, I was going to point that out too.
And in this story, it was he couldn't read. He had issues reading, so that's why he was bullying. Exactly. So for different people, they have different reasons for how they do it. But I just wanted to shine a light, like, hey, there are different reasons why people bully. That's just shine a light and trying to make sure that we can help those people who need help in those areas.
Yep, sounds good. Like you said, a very important issue that you handled in that one. And the last one that we have up here is Little Andy Runs for School President, which just came out this year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And give us a little summary about that one.
Well, Andy has this arch nemesis who is Chance Parker, and he can't beat Chance at anything. Checkers, a hot dog eating contest, a race, nothing. But even though Andy, kind of despises Chance a little bit, he really cares about him. And what happens, you find out the reason why Chance he wanted to run for school president so bad is because he wanted his parents' attention. He was pretty much racing himself. So it meant so much for his parents to be involved in his candidacy, helping to run his campaign. He was like, this is the most attention I've ever gotten from you, in so long because you're so busy. Right. So I know it's a lot of kids, who go through that for various reasons. Some of the parents have to work a lot, so they don't get to spend as much time with their child as they would like. So I just want to shine a light on that. Hey, kids, they just really need love and they really want to be loved by friends, from family, and they'll do whatever they can to act out to get that attention. So that's try to, build families again. I just want to strengthen the families. That was the focus of this book. Okay.
Well, yeah, like I mentioned, great lessons in each of your books. So we have 2 more in the series. Do you have time frames for when those will be out?
My next book, Little Andy's Last Chance, which is a book about basketball. Okay. I would like to have that released by the end of the year. Okay. And then the 5th book in the first installment of the first series, oh no, there's a new recess monitor in town. So somebody wants to come, they come for Andy's Throne, they want to run the playground. That book should come out early, let's say spring of 2020. Yeah, spring of 2020.
Okay, good. Now this is off the script too. I didn't send you this question, but just talking to you about your books, like you come up with them pretty fast, you know, for people. But you mentioned you're a storyteller, so do you already have the ideas in your mind and you just ready to put it on paper, or how does that process work out for you?
So I have my own ideas, but I watched cartoons so much growing up, a lot of things that I saw sometimes sticks with me. In order to refresh myself, I actually go back and watch cartoons. Whether it's Recess or Hey Arnold or Doug, you know, anything like that that I grew up on, I just watch those episodes like, you know what, this could be something that I could put into a book. Okay. So that's pretty much what I do.
All right. Well, we look forward to your next two coming out. Any other other endeavors that you have working on? So you have your books, you have your series, but along with that, you mentioned different things like merchandising and cartoons. So explain all that fun stuff to us.
So with me, if I want to do something, I want to see it all the way through. You know, if it can grow to another level, that's what I would like to do. So eventually, I'd like to have, you know, shirts, maybe some toys or action figures, lunch boxes, book bags, any type of paraphernalia for, you know, Little Andy's World. And I've been in talks with the animator to try to actually get this turned into an animated cartoon series. Okay. Like I said, I watch cartoons all the time, so this I think would be perfect as a cartoon. So if I can get that done and get it on the big screen, whether it's a movie or Netflix or Nickelodeon, whatever it may be, that's my goal.
Well, that's good. Arnold, look out. We got Little Andy coming.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Well, share your contact information. We want people to know how to get your books, how to reach out to you for your organization, so we can look out for your new books coming out also. So share your contact information. All
right, well, you can contact me at AntoineLunsford.com, and where there will be links to purchase my books. You always be able to see my speaking engagements where I'll be speaking at. And of course, my books are on Amazon, so if you want to do a direct purchase from Amazon, you'll be able to find them there. And also my social media, you can follow me at Little Andy's World, LLC on Instagram, or on Facebook, Antoine Lunsford.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much again. Appreciate the lessons that you share in your books. We look forward to the ones coming out, and I'm looking forward to the cartoon.
That's good. Me too.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll be right back with my recommendation. The Little Andy series of children's books take you into a world of Little Andy and his friends. The author, Antoine Lunsford, uses bright pictures and relatable characters to teach valuable lessons such as bullying and working hard. These lessons resonate with students in grades 1 through 8. So be sure to pick up a book or the series and share the valuable lessons inside with a youngster in your life. Here are just a few tips to keep in mind when writing children's books. First, you want to find your target audience. Children's reading abilities develop at a different rate or pace, so your style needs to fit a very specific age group. Next, you want to choose a theme. Be sure to discuss situations that are relevant to your target age group. Third, story development is key. There needs to be a clear beginning, middle, and ending with closure so children can learn alongside the characters. Next, you may want to read out loud to check the book's flow and length to make sure it's appropriate for the age range and the children can comprehend what's being said. And lastly, using a good balance of words and pictures throughout the story can help build a quality children's book. These are just a few helpful hints. For more information, visit jmediapublishing.net. I would like to thank Mr. Antoine Lunsford for joining me today and sharing information about his foundation, where he provides educational resources. And of course, for sharing his children's series on Little Andy, where he helps children tackle different lessons in a fun, lighthearted way. We look forward to hearing more about what Little Andy and his friends will be up to in the coming months and years. If you are an author and would like to be featured on our program, you can send an email to cmjohnson@laurel.md.us or call 301-725-5300, extension 2110. We would love to have you on the show. I'm Christine Johnson, reminding you to open a book and let it take you on your next adventure.